What's good, everybody? It's gonna come back at you another video. So this video, I wanted to talk about the power of creation and how you can create as you go, and honestly, just make it a fun game because that's why we're here. That's why we're alive. That's why we're put here on Earth to experience this life, this joy, this blessing of a life, is to have fun, is to experience outrageous joy. That is the purpose of our life. Every moment of the day, for every day, for the rest of our time here that we're alive, right? It is to experience outrageous joy. Now, this game you could turn into a game, the power of creating as you go, which is essentially almost like segment intending. It's you speaking things into existence. It's you speaking about or thinking about the best case scenario for everything, right? Because like, let's just say, for example, you're going car shopping, right? You can tell yourself, I'm gonna find my dream car. I'm gonna find the car that I want, and I'm going to get it at the best deal possible. Like, everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna fall into place perfectly. Or if you're headed out to go grab lunch or to go eat somewhere, you can tell yourself, this next meal is going to be an amazing meal. It's going to be one of the best meals I eat, right? Like, you can begin setting that intention, right? You can begin putting out that energy, because when you think of the best case scenario for things that are, on its way or going to unfold, right? You're putting out that energy, so it makes it more likely for that event to happen. And then if it does happen, obviously you're going to be even more excited. You're going to feel ecstatic, and you're going to feel good, and you're going to better understand your power as a creator, right? And as you do things, you're going to continue getting into the habit of speaking the things that you want into existence, right? Because if you're speaking it, then you were thinking about it. And if you're thinking about it, right, obviously you're thinking about best case scenarios, you're going to be feeling good, and you're going to be excited. You're going to maintain that positive energy all throughout the day, right? Rather than mindlessly going through what you have to do, and then whatever happens is what you know, it, whatever happens is what happens, right? No, you want to actively participate in your life and actively begin creating what is that you want to experience, because we all have the power to create the lives that we want to live, and we have the power to dictate the things that we want to have or the things that we want to experience, and we can do just that, right? Even before, if you're commuting, traveling somewhere, before that commute starts, tell yourself, this is going to be a fast, smooth ride. Everything's going to go well. The roads are going to be clear. No traffic, right? Ideally, you want to speak in the affirmative and not in the negative, right? You don't want to say things like, there won't be any traffic, right? You are better off saying, because at that point, you're thinking about traffic, right? You better off saying, the roads are going to be clear. This is going to be a smooth, quick trip towards my destination, right? Or as you're driving, right, you can say, you know what? I'm going to find a parking spot right in the front of my destination, right? There will be a parking spot readily available for me when I arrive, right? Things like that, things that can help improve your experience, things that you want to experience, things that you want to happen, right? Because I'm pretty sure no one wants to experience sitting in traffic, or no one wants to experience having to keep driving around looking for parking endlessly if you have to park on the road, right? Things like that. And this can be for all things, right? If you're walking in for a job interview, you can tell yourself, this interview is going to go well. I'm going to impress them. I'm going to leave a great impression, and this is going to result in them delivering me an offer. Now, of course, there's never any guarantee of any of these things always happening 100% of the time. That's okay, right? But you speaking these things into existence will not only help boost your confidence, it'll help boost your morale, it'll help you feel good, feel better. You'll approach things happier, rather than just being indifferent about things, or just like, right? It helps uplift your spirits, and then you'll be actively playing this game, because then you'll constantly be thinking about your life. You'll constantly be thinking about the events and speaking into existence what is that you want. And as you get into the habit of doing it, you're going to be doing it for all areas of your life, right? If you might be experiencing illness, right, you may tell yourself, that health is on the way, that I'm bouncing back, or that health is here, or that my body is over the hump and is now healing, right? Like that feels a lot better than saying I'm sick, right? Like to say, because if you feel sick and you say I'm healthy, right, you may feel bad in a sense because you may feel as though you're just lying to yourself. But if you say a more accurate statement, right, where is right now I'm getting better, right now I'm working towards recovering, I'm working towards, right, then that can be a much better feeling statement than just saying I'm sick, I'm sick, right? Like you want to say I'm healthy, I'm getting better, I'm feeling better each and every day, I'm incrementally improving, right? And so it's the same idea with segment intended. Prior to doing anything, right, you can begin speaking about best case scenarios, right? Before you clock into your job or start the day off at school, you can tell yourself today is going to be an absolutely wonderful day. Things are going to go well. Things are going to go smoothly, right? Today, something great will happen. Something memorable will happen. Something will stand out. Something amazing I'll experience, right? And that's you putting forth that energy to help create that good event, to help attract that good event back to you, right? This is something that is small, but that can have a big impact on you because it will help you feel better. You'll be vibrating higher energy, positive energy, and that's what we want. We want to create the lives that we want to live. We're powerful, right? We're creators, and we want to continuously tap into that creation, right? Even if you're in a position where you have to just wait, right? Whether you're standing in line waiting at the DMV, right? Or you're driving somewhere and it's, quite a drive. Whatever the case may be, you can still play this game and think about best case scenarios for different things in your life, or you can be thinking about the things you desire, right? Like you can still make this fun. It can still be a game about creation. It doesn't have to be anything that's super difficult, super complicated, and there's something small that can really uplift your spirit. Because oftentimes, if you think about it logically, right, when you're experiencing negative emotions, say for example, you're angry, frustrated, or you're anxious, you're worried, right? You're experiencing negative emotions. You're experiencing those negative emotions because of the negative thoughts that you've had, right? Those negative thoughts are not in alignment with who you truly are, which is why you're experiencing negative emotions. So now, because you're experiencing negative emotions, it's easier for you to think those negative thoughts because you're vibrating negative emotion, right? It's unlikely for you to be feeling these negative emotions and thinking happy thoughts, right? Because then if that were the case, you would be happy, you would be vibrating happy energy and not the negative emotion, right? You can only think the thoughts of like where you're at as far as emotionally, right? Which that's how it is, right? The energy that you're vibrating, like that's everything is going to remain in alignment. So if you're able to create as you go, if you tell yourself, hey, I'm driving, but there's going to be a parking spot saved for me right at the entrance of my destination, you're going to be feeling good driving to that destination, right? You're going to be saying, yeah, like that parking spot is going to be there. And you're going to feel good because you're thinking to yourself, this is about to be so smooth how it's just, I'll get there and there'll be a spot reserved just for me. And how thoughtful of the universe to do something like this for me. And then when you go there and you find that spot already there waiting for you, it's like your happiness compounds again, because it's like, wow, I spoke that into existence. Like I really created that. Like I did that. And then you're going to feel on top of the world because you're like, okay, well, if I can manifest this parking spot and create this, then that means I can do that for other areas of my life, right? And so then it'll just continue going, and you can't help but to feel on top of the world, because as you're putting out that energy, of course, there are going to be events that are bound to align with what you put out, right? It's going to happen. So then you'll begin to see the correlation with your energy, the things that you're saying, the thoughts that you're putting out, and what actually happens in the physical, right? It's all a reflection. So that is the power of creating as you go. It's just this pretty much the same thing as like segment intending, right? Segment intending is putting out the energy of what you want to experience prior to the next segment in your life, whether that's, an easy way to determine segments is like if you're entering or exiting buildings, or you're going to do like from one task to another, right? Those are like different segments that are happening in your life, and that's you putting out best case scenario for each segment, right? It doesn't matter what it is, right? It can be any event in your life that is going to happen that you have lined up, and you can tell yourself, you know what, this is going to go well, or I'm going to have a lot of fun with this event, or such and such will happen here, right? Good things that you want to actually happen, because then you'll be feeling good, you'll be feeling excited, you'll be feeling on top of the world, and then the universe will then respond to your energy and give you that same energy back. It'll, in the form of attracting people, events, and circumstances into your life to match that same energy. So it's literally one of the best things you can do, and that'll help you remain aware and remain present in the moment, rather than just being indifferent or just be operating through life with do not disturb energy or just negative energy, right? You want to switch that. You want to begin vibrating high energy a lot more often. You want to make the days and the moment count and not count the days, right? So that is how you can do that, with the power of creating as you go. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 1 million subscribers, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.